Hello, hello, hello. It's Miss Bland jumping on to go over Tuesday's lesson. I hope you are well. I hope you are having a great Tuesday. It is Tuesday, October the 6th. Oh my goodness, Miss Bland didn't change the date. Today is indeed the 6th. It is Tuesday, October the 6th, 2020, and it is week 8 of second grade. And I'm super excited that you're here, and we're going to jump right in and get started. The boys and girls this morning didn't even notice. So I hope you're well. We hope you are doing great. Remember to submit to Miss Bland so she will know that you've seen this video. How can you do that? You can send Miss Bland an email and say, hey, I watched the video and I've completed my work for today. Mom and dad can email me. You can email me. You can also submit an assignment on Seesaw. I'll be sure to see it there. Or you can send me a picture of something that you finished in your packet. All of those count for your attendance. Remember your virtual rules when you're watching the video. The biggest ones are to act like you're in school. Sit down and complete your work. And as always, be sure you're listening. Ms. Vester has us working on feelings this week. And so we talked about yesterday being able to express our feelings. And we met the Zacks. And we know they were walking towards each other, and neither one of them was willing to move so that the other could get by. So they stood and stared at each other for years and years. But the whole world kept going without them and just left them standing there. Sometimes it's better to just be the bigger person and walk away. Today, we want to talk about empathy. And empathy means that you put yourself in another person's shoes. You see how that person feels. You see, he's showing he cares, he's practicing empathy. They're concerned about their friend, they're practicing empathy. They're worried about how he feels. That's practicing empathy. Let's see if we can watch a short video about empathy.
Hi, friends. Welcome to another social emotional learning video from Mile Marks. Today, we will be learning all about empathy. In this video, you will learn these three things. 1. What is empathy? 2. Why is empathy important? And 3. How can you practice empathy with others? Ready? Let's get started. So what exactly is empathy? Empathy is when you are able to understand how someone else might be thinking or feeling about a situation. Some people say empathy is like putting yourself in their shoes and trying your best to imagine what they might be going through. Empathy is not about what you would do if you were them or how you are feeling. It's all about the other person. Why is empathy so important? Empathy is important because it helps you know how to best respond to other people. When you have an idea of how someone is feeling, you have a better chance of knowing what to do or say to them that might be helpful. For example, Susie's cat ran away from home last night. Ask yourself, how do you think she might be feeling? Put yourself in her shoes for just a minute. Imagine if you were Susie and you had a cat that you loved and played with every day. Imagine if one day the cat was gone and you didn't know if it was ever coming back. How would that feel? Probably not great. If you were Susie, you'd likely be feeling sad, heartbroken, and very worried. Since you took the time to try to understand what Susie might be feeling, now you can better respond to her and connect with her in a way that is helpful. You could say something such as, I know how much you love your cat. You must be feeling really sad. Or you could do something nice for Susie, like offer to help put up posters around the neighborhood. Empathy is not only about figuring out how someone is feeling, but also caring enough to do something about it. Practicing empathy makes you a more caring person and a better friend. It brings you closer to people because they feel that you truly understand what they're going through. Empathy works with happy feelings too. If your friend is happy because he made the volleyball team, you can use empathy to be excited with him. Even if you don't really like volleyball, you know how much this means to your friend, and you can truly be happy for him. So how can you start practicing empathy with others? Here are 4 things that you can start doing today. 1. Pay attention to other people's feelings. You can watch people's faces and body language to get an idea of how they might be feeling. You can also listen to their words or the tone of their voice to get clues about what they are feeling or thinking. If you're ever unsure, you can always just ask, "How are you feeling right now?" By paying attention to people's feelings, you will have a better idea about how to interact with them. 2. Think before you speak or act. Ask yourself, how do I think my words or actions are going to make this other person feel? If something you're doing is making other people feel sad or upset, you might want to think about changing that behavior. For example, you may know a joke that you think is really funny, but if you can imagine that it may hurt someone's feelings, it may be best not to share it after all. 3. Realize that everyone is different. Just because something is not a big deal to you doesn't mean that it might not be a big deal for someone else.
And that's the biggest thing we want to learn from this video. Just because something is not a big deal to you does not mean it's not a big deal to someone else. So we should always show empathy and understanding how someone else feels. Ms. Vester wants that to be what we do as part of our lesson for today. So we're on the yellow page of our packet. We have a yellow packet this week. It is week 8. You have 12 new letterland words and 8 vocabulary words that you've seen before. So this should be a great week for those. Remember that there is not a passage this week in recording for you to read. So you have the opportunity to only show me how amazing of a reader you are on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday when you record yourself on Seesaw. Excited to hear those. Be sure you have reviewed your spelling words for this week. We're dealing with an ed sound at the end. We talked this morning with the boys and girls that ed often tells us something has already happened. It may have happened yesterday, it may have happened last week, it may have happened last year, but that ed always tells us that it's past tense and it's already happened. ABC order. ABC order will be in your notebook or in Seesaw for today. The choice is yours. Our story for this week, of course, is our baby bears. And we've been reading about baby bears. Yesterday, we read the first couple of pages. Today, we will add to those in our notes as well as in our work. So let's review what we read yesterday. Explains computer slowing down. Yesterday, we started off reading about the bear. We met the bear. We talked about he was a mammal. We talked about that our bear was able to drink mama's milk before he was big enough to do anything else. We talked about we were mammals. We even met our panda bear, and we talked about how people thought he was related to the raccoons instead of the bears because of the coverings of his eyes. We talked about the kinds of bears. That was part of yesterday's lesson. And we also met the cutest little bears that are born with their eyes shut and that it takes them about 6 weeks. They were just so small. And that was where we were. You took time yesterday on your graphic organizer to talk to me about the kinds of bears. And you also took time on your graphic organizer to tell me about the bear's body. So today we will pick up on page 193. We'll be reading pages 193 through 196, and then we'll talk about some notes that we're going to gather from those pages.
Bear coats. Bears have 2 kinds of fur. Some of their fur is short and some is long. Their short fur keeps them warm. Their long fur keeps water away from their skin. Polar bears have thick white fur. Pandas have black and white fur.
Look at the difference. They're both bears, but they look very different.
Bear families. A bear family is made up of a mother bear and her cubs. Most mother bears have litters of cubs. A litter is 2 or more babies that are born at the same time. This mother grizzly bear has 3 cubs.
Look at mama and her babies.
Cubs stay with their mothers until they are 2 to 3 years old. They watch their mothers to learn how to live on their own. Mother bears teach their cubs where to find food and how to stay safe. Caption: This mother bear is teaching her cubs how to climb a tree. Mothers also teach cubs how to groom their fur and stay clean. What do bears eat? Most bears are omnivores. Omnivores are animals that eat both plants and animals. Bears eat honey, berries, leaves, and eggs. They also eat insects, fish, and other animals. Polar bears are carnivores. Carnivores eat mainly other animals. Pandas are herbivores. Herbivores eat mainly plants. Pandas eat plants called bamboo.
All right, very good. That's page 196. So the boys and girls and I decided on 6 things that we thought were the top notes for those pages. So open up your notebook to a clean page, the next clean page. Please put today's date up at the top, put pages 193 through 196, and then copy down the 6 notes that are shown below. Pause here to complete. Great, I'm glad you got those done. Now join me in your packet for some information you need for some work that needs to be completed by you. First and foremost, you need to make sure that in Seesaw you realize that this story is available to you. The entire bear story is there, so you're able to finish your bear worksheet. So at the top, I had the guys writing in story in Seesaw, just so they wouldn't forget. The back side of that page, turn it on over, is your graphic organizer that deals with key details. And we want to talk about the details of what bears eat today. So that's on page 196. Tell me about the omnivores. What are some of the things that omnivore bears eat? What about those carnivore bears and the herbivore bears? Those yummy bamboo. Oops, gave you a little hint. Use that hint to make sure that your details are correct. Pause here to complete, or you can complete it on the end once you go to Seesaw. Turn to the next page and you'll get a chance to practice those vocabulary words. There are 3 words listed. Your job is going to be to tell me what you need from those words. Guess what you need? You're going to write a question. So we're combining vocabulary and question writing today. Your sentence is going to end with a question mark because we're asking a question, and it's going to begin with a capital letter because both of those are important to making sure we understand what we know. These are the 3 words you're going to use in your question: giant, covered, and fur. Please make sure you write each of those inside of the question. Be sure the question mark's on the end and be sure that you answer it well. Pause here to complete or complete on the end. The back side of this page is going to be a little different than what your directions say. Notice Ms. Bland walked out the directions and I said pick 2 vocabulary words and draw a picture. We chose the words adult and mammal. You can use those same too. And then for me, please show me what you need to know about those pictures. Maybe you're going to draw an adult and a little kid too, or maybe your mammal might be a dog, or maybe it's a little boy. Might just be a picture of you because you're a mammal as well. Your choice, you choose, and make a wise decision to complete this page. Pause here to complete or complete at the end. If you need a break, you can take it. Otherwise, Ms. Bland only has a little bit more. Just hang in there with me a few more minutes. Today for math, we're still reviewing place value. Place value simply deals with being able to understand our tens and ones and forms of writing numbers. Today, we talked about place value, our word form, our expanded form, our number bonds, and our hundreds, tens and ones in a place value chart. So we did 2 numbers together, 73 and 124. We showed the number in word form. We showed the number in expanded form. We showed the number on a number bond. We showed the number on hundreds, tens, and ones on a chart, and in number form in our regular way. We did not do our hundreds, tens, and ones by drawing them, but you're welcome to do those as the same. There wasn't a ton of room, but it was enough that we thought it would get us started. You may copy number 73 and 124. And then at the bottom, 97 and 46 are for your independent practice. Do them exactly like we did, 73 and 124. Pause here to complete or complete on the end. The last thing for today deals with place value. It's your exit ticket. Be sure you read your questions carefully about what the value of each of those numbers are and being able to answer it. Also, for number 4, you're showing me that in unit form means we're going to draw our hundreds, tens, and ones to show the value of 905. Be careful and count behind yourself to make sure you don't make any mistakes. Well, guess what, guys? That's all Ms. Blaine has for you today. So what do you need to do? You have your bear sheet. The story is in Seesaw, and you have your graphic organizer of what bears eat. For vocabulary, you're going to write 3 questions, and you're also going to draw 2 pictures. Flips, we're going to talk about those in just a second. Ms. Bland almost forgot them. In your flips, you had 2 left from yesterday. They were the words cook and nail. Ms. Bland wants you to make sure that in your notebook today, you do cook and nail. Nail was here. Remember, I chose nail. I chose this definition of nail. So I drew an emoji face and I wrote my sentence about nail. At the bottom, I chose this definition of cook. So I drew a happy face and I wrote my sentence. You will do the same inside of your notebook. Be careful and make them amazing. Then you had 2 math questions left because 2 of them we did together. And you have your exit ticket. Inside of Seesaw, all you have today is ABC order. If you need anything, please let Ms. Blaine know. She's more than happy to help you. Please remember that tomorrow you're working on the pre-record and you're working at your own pace. Whenever you choose to complete it, we'll be fine with Ms. Blaine. Remember, completing your Seesaw activity will count for your attendance as well. You can also text Ms. Blaine if you don't get to Seesaw, but you do have time to do the other work. I hope you have a great afternoon. If there's anything Ms. Blaine can do for you, please let you or your parents just let me know. I'll try my best to help. As far as our school system decision for school yesterday, parents, I'll throw that in on the end. For those that will be returning, you will get contacted in the next couple of days as far as whether you will be week A or week B. So we will alternate. You'll come week A, you'll be off a week, come week there. You'll know which week you are, whether you're week A and starting on the 19th or whether you're not. You'll be contacted soon with that information. Those of you that are moving to the virtual academy, your new teacher will contact you sometime next week. There was a call from Ms. Lamb, so if you were at work or unavailable for the phone conversation, check my dojo message from last night and also check the message from the school today. That gives all the information that we have up to this point. If you have a child-specific question, you can shoot those to me, and I may be able to answer on a case-by-case basis. But that's all we have for everybody. If you need anything else, guys, please just let me know, and I'll do the best I can to help you. Air hugs and kisses and all my good wishes. Have a great one. Love you guys. Bye-bye.